The Polar Express, the journey begins. Tick-tock, tick-tock. A boy lay in bed listening to the clock. He was very quiet. He did not move. He was also listening for Santa's sleigh bells. He wanted to know if Santa was really real. Jingle, jingle. The boy sat up in bed. Could it be Santa? The boy got out of bed and tiptoed into the hall. He looked downstairs. No Santa. The jingle sound was just his dad's Santa hat. The boy went back to bed. The boy's parents looked into his room. They thought he was asleep. His mom gave him a kiss. He's out like a light, his father said. An express train could not wake him up. The boy sat up again. He looked out of his window. It was snowing. Tick-tock, tick-tock. He looked at the clock. It was 10:20. Soon it would be Christmas Day. The boy yawned. He was getting sleepy. Jingle, jingle. The boy's eyes flew open. It was 11:55, 5 minutes until midnight. He stared at the clock. It wasn't ticking anymore. It had stopped. Just then, the whole room began to rumble, and there was a loud roar of bright lights. The boy jumped out of bed and looked out the window. He saw clouds of steam. He saw bright yellow lights. He heard a long whistle. What could it be? The boy pulled on his slippers and his bathrobe, and he ran down the stairs and threw open the front door. The boy ran into the snowy path and down. The boy ran down the snowy path and came to a stop. The clouds of steam disappeared, and there stood a train, a big train. It was a black and shiny train. It was as long as a football field. The windows glowed yellow in the cold, quiet night. The boy stared, his mouth open. The boy looked down his block. Just then, a man in a uniform stepped off the train. He checked his pocket watch. All aboard, he shouted. The boy looked up. All aboard, the man called again. He looked at the boy. Well, are you coming? The man asked. Where? The boy wanted to know. And the man looked closely at the boy. Why, to the North Pole, of course, he said. This is the Polar Express. North Pole, the boy said. The man looked at his papers. The boy hadn't written Santa a letter. He hadn't put out milk and cookies. He needed to go to the North Pole. If I were you, the man said, I would think about getting on board. The boy didn't know what to do. Should he get on the train or go back to bed? He stepped back. He'd go home. But then he looked through the train's windows and he saw children laughing and singing. He climbed aboard. The train moved faster and faster. The boy was excited. Next stop, the North Pole. And the boy hoped, Santa Claus.